Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be going over turning side kick. Before we start, I recommend watching our tornado kick tutorial first because the spin is very similar. In addition to that, I recommend watching our side kick tutorial as well because all of the technique for the side kick is the same. With all of that said, let's go ahead and get started. So when you're first learning this kick, I recommend starting in a very clear fighting stance. Make sure your kicking leg is in the back. And then I also recommend having your feet in the same line or having your kicking leg slightly offset so it's behind your other leg. From here, you're going to pivot, turning over your rear shoulder and turning your back to the target and slightly squat down. So this is where it's very similar to the tornado kick, how you initiate the tornado kick. I'm going to turn over my rear shoulder, squat down, and spot my target. Make sure you're loading your legs because we're going to re-extend our legs out to give us more power on the actual kick. Make sure your hands come in at the same time and try to keep your body upright like this. You don't want to be leaning forward too much like this. So you start in your fighting stance, pivot on the balls of your feet, turn your back to your target, pull your hands in, and spot your target. That's going to be step number one, the pivot. Pivot. Step number two is to swing your kicking leg through and raise it up into a side kick chamber position. So step two, raise it up into a side kick chamber position. Notice, this is where it's completely similar to our side kick in the turn position. My standing foot has my toes facing behind me, and then my knee is pulled to my chest, and my foot is flexed so I can strike with the bottom of my foot. The bottom of my foot is facing toward my target. From here, it's exactly the same as a regular side kick. I'll extend completely, strike with the heel, and then from here, I'll pull back, and you can either set it down from here, or you can perform a re-pivot to help you land a little more smoothly. All right, so step number one, pivot, spot your target, load your legs, hands come in. Step number two, side kick chamber. And step number three, kick and pull back. And then four is going to be your landing. Whether you want to re-pivot and recover, or you just want to land directly out of that side kick. Just like that. Pay attention to whether you're overturning or not, because it's no longer going to be a turning side kick if you over-pivot, overturn. All right, so make sure during the majority of the kick, your back should be facing the target. I don't want to have my chest facing whenever I'm initiating the kick, because that's going to change how my hip is positioned, and therefore that's going to change how my foot is kicking. So from here, pivot, keep your back facing the target until you're ready to land. I go to my side kick chamber kick. I don't overturn. I shouldn't even show this shoulder. All right, so I'm kicking with my right leg, so I shouldn't even show my right shoulder like this. Don't let your chest open up like this until you finish the kick so you can land and recover. If you are struggling with overturning, there's a couple of different ways you can break it down. So I'm going to grab this rail right here to help me prevent myself from overturning. Another way you can do it is you can have someone stand behind you, and you have them grab your hands to prevent you from overturning. So I'll show you. I'm going to start in my fighting stance. I'm going to pivot, and from here I'll grab the rail. Make sure to correct your spacing, and from here, if I'm grabbing the rail correctly, or my partner, whenever I go to kick, this can help you prevent overturning, right? My chest can't go over here, my arm can't go over here. It's grabbing the rail. Extend. All right? It's regular side kick technique. Pivot, grab, and kick. Once you feel like you're not overturning too much anymore, then start combining the steps a little faster together, right? Pivot, look, chamber, kick. I'm going to give you a couple more tips to make sure you're doing the technique correctly, and then you have as much power as possible on this kick. So I mentioned earlier, when you're in the pivot, your legs are going to be slightly loaded. So the kicking leg is slightly bent to help me push off of it more and give me more power here. All right, so you need to think about pushing both up and forward, because side kick is a pushing kick, right? We're trying to push our target back or away from us. So from here, this leg's going to straighten out. I'm going to really push off. I'm also going to do the same thing with my other leg, my supporting leg, and sort of move myself toward the bag. Think about kicking through the target. So make sure you're loading those legs. And then as you're chambering, I'm going to extend my standing leg. And after the chamber, I extend my kicking leg to have more power. Make sure you strike with the heel so it's more of a point force. You don't want to spread that force out across your entire foot. And once you get better, combine it all together. Turn, look, and kick. And that's how you perform a turning side kick. From here, we can progress to a jump turning side kick. So stay tuned for our next video. If you have any suggestions for what we should do a tutorial on next, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. We wish you the best of luck learning turning side kick. This is Champions Taekwondo Academy. Thanks for watching.